looking at the offensive line, I'll just tee it up this way. I saw one of the offensive linemen tweet out, and it was retweeted by somebody is the way I picked it up. And this was just in the last day or so to make basically a statement that they were coming after the Joe Moore Award. And so your thoughts about their standard and if they're going to hit it this year or be even better?
Yes. I mean, like I said, I think they're going to have, at least preseason wise, the best duo or best combo of offensive tackle in the country. I mean, I think Blake Fisher is pretty much as good as it gets. Joe Alt is probably the best offensive lineman in the country. In my personal opinion, I think he's going to be a top 5, top 10 pick going into, the 2024 draft. And then if Joe Alt was not on Notre Dame's team, people would talk about Blake Fisher almost in the same capacity. He was a true freshman left tackle starter at Notre Dame, got hurt, came back, moved to the right side. Joe Alt started, the last 6 or 7 games of his freshman season and then just kind of stayed there. And now Blake Fisher has kind of solidified himself as the right tackle. So bare minimum from the tackle spots, the blind side for Sam Hartman, I think it's going to be great. And then center, Zeke Correll really found himself towards, the midway point of last season and became, I don't want to throw out hyperbole and say he was one of the best centers in college football or something like that, but certainly a guy that can be relied upon and maybe take that leap forward and, certainly improve his draft stock, but also be, a dominant center and maybe someone that is seen as one of the best centers in the country, as the season goes on. But they have to replace the guards. Jarrett Patterson obviously was a bookend for them for a long time. He was at center, moved to left guard last year. And then they had Josh Lugg, who was one of the, a guy that had started multiple seasons for them, along the offensive line. So those got to be replaced. But I think that they recruit at a very high level along the offensive line. I think this coaching staff has a lot of confidence in the guys that they have for the guard play. And I don't really expect them to miss too much of a beat. And a lot of it has to come from the outside looking in. I think what I mean by that is from the tackles looking into the guards. And I think that steadiness of those two players plus the center are going to make the offensive line pretty solid. And, I don't know. The Joe Moore Award is, neither here or there for me. I think that there's been some times where they've got shafted when it comes to that award, and other times they've won it when they probably didn't deserve it. So I'm not too worried about that, but I think it will be a really good offensive line.
Yeah. That was a way for me to tee up the question because otherwise I don't put a whole lot of stock in postseason college football or really any sports awards. I can watch the games and figure out who's good and who's not. I don't need somebody to tell me a bunch of people that some are invested in the games and have a legitimate and valid vote, and other people that don't really know what they're talking about throw in their vote as well. So I don't always trust those myself.